Live from the Murphy Center in New Rochelle, this is RadioThon on WIUR Radio.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to a very special RadioThon episode of the DMP Power Hour with
Jake Low10.
You know you can make your chair higher, right, Tom?
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm like, you
That's
look
all
like...
right. It's all right. Robbie just noticed the chair.
I just noticed too. I looked over. That's why I started laughing before.
You know what? I'm glad I got the cuck chair now. Thank you.
So
I don't care.
We're going to
You
open.
look like a munchkin from the Wizard of Oz.
All right, just for that.
Aside from the jokes, we're going to open today's RadioThon with maybe a half hour
Of the NFL draft.
an NFL draft preview. We have a very special mock draft. Shout out Joe from downtown. We have a very, very special mock draft coming in. We have all 32 picks. So what I was thinking was, Dom, see if I'll keep it up on my screen. See if you get on yours.
Yeah, just send it
the
to me.
mock draft simulator, like one of those free mock draft simulators. We'll go through, do a mock draft, me, you, and Jake, and we'll see if each pick matches what's over here.
I have to subscribe to unlock the.
All right, so never mind. So what we'll do,
Let me see what I can grab.
there is one of the free ones though. So while you're doing that, Jake, anything you want to talk about? Now, being that we're not doing the call-in segment because there's only one head. We're not doing it because I explained to my dad before. I'm like, I would love to have him call in. I was looking real forward to it, but there's only one set of headsets. So I'm like, there's not really a point to do it if we can't all contribute to the conversation and have you guys just sitting there.
Right.
So I was like, he did give me a couple pointers he wanted to bring up. One of the major things he wanted to say was, jokingly, but seriously at the same time, will the Jets ever get the pick right? They've done it before where they've made the right selections. Garrett Wilson, for example. Sauce Gardner, before they traded him, was one of the picks they got right.
Mm-hmm.
Jermaine Johnson, before they traded him. Breece Hall, even going further back, Darrelle Revis in 2007, Mangold and Ferguson in 2006. So they did have.
Sorry,
When you
I'm
look
watching
at,
this.
we'll differentiate this. Well, before we get to the mock draft, while Dom's looking for one of them, I'm gonna actually.
I already got it.
up.
It's just loading up. Give it a
Yeah.
second.
I'm gonna pull something up. I did something I just thought of on the fly, but this is where I worked the best. We're gonna look at the New York Jets, and we'll do the
Okay.
Giants too.
Okay, I got a nice
right.
little draft here.
So we'll read both mock drafts and see if the picks are the same while I wait for this to load. We're going to look up the New York Jets and the New York Giants first round picks since 2000. And we'll see, obviously, we'll look the last 15 years. So we'll look from, it's going back to 06. And we'll go from 06 to last year's first round and see, how well the pick worked out and what success the Jets had. And we'll do the same thing with the Giants. But so we'll do that. Then we'll do the mock draft. Then we'll hit ad break. Then we'll do whatever. We'll figure out something. A little bit of baseball, a little bit
I'll be able to fill the
WWE,
I'll
a
fill
little bit of baseball, a little bit of WWE, a little bit
movie talk.
movies, TV shows, and we'll talk about the newspaper. Jake brought us very kind to bring a copy of the Ionian.
Well, we all have articles
So,
in there, so it seems
That's like
appropriate.
a preview of to look forward to. So let's dive on in. So first, in the last 15 years, the Jets have made 25 first round selections
Yes.
because there have been multiple years, 26 actually, because one of them's not on here, and I don't know why he's not on here. But 26 when you look, starting with in 2006. With the 4th overall pick, they selected offensive lineman DeBrickashaw Ferguson. I think every Jet fan would say it's an A+ pick 15 years later. Or
someone with the last name Ferguson now, do we?
Triple B.
4, 5, 6.
4, 5, 6 for it. My name is Walter
this
Hartwell
actually
White.
further. This isn't even 15 years. This is going back to counting this year. This is 20 years ago. So
Unfortunately, I finished it. You
this
can't have
actually,
waterfall.
sorry, my math is wrong. This is actually 20 years ago when you think about it. Considering that we're in the 2026 draft and this was 2006. So right? Yeah, this is 20 years ago.
Yes.
Yeah. So 20 years ago, Brickshaw Ferguson. It's insane to think about that 06 was 20 years ago, though. No?
Feels weird to think about
wow.
that. even
You're
when we
not
can't-
wrong.
Feels weird to think about it even when we can't remember 2006.
So the 2006 draft, 20 years ago, crazy to think about. The Brickshaw Ferguson was the number 4 pick. Then the Jets would trade up into the back end of the first round and select center Nick Mangold. That's a plus pick.
Nice.
Should be in the Hall of Fame. Is probably a future Hall of Famer. Should have been in the Hall of Fame before he sadly passed away. Arguably the greatest center of his generation. Probably is the best center of his generation. I would say about from like 09 to the end of his career. It was arguably the best center in like I said, best center in football. 2007, they would trade up. I believe they traded up. If not, I might be a little wrong here. But they would move up to get. They would move in, get Darrelle Revis at pick 14. Greatest corner to ever play the game of football. There's no
Revis. Coming back to the
probably-
Jets.
probably the greatest corner of all time.
Revis?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not.
I mean, insane to think about. He was drafted 19 years ago too. Probably my favorite career Jet ever outside of probably my favorite career Jet ever. Like Jet just in general. Greatest corner ever. That's another A+ pick. Then we'll get into a little bit of the mid-round picks. Dustin Keller, 2008, pick 30. Believe they traded into the first round to get him. Because they were not naturally picking at pick 30. So I believe they traded into the first round to get him. I would say that pick's maybe like a B or a C level pick. He had good moments, was good in the playoffs, had good hands, was one of Sanchez's go-to targets. From what I remember, he was a decent tight end. He didn't play that long, so that's why it's not like a top. That's not like it's why it could be more of a C level pick, but he wasn't the worst. Vernon Golston, F. I mean, come on, 2008. Yeah, they traded into the first round for Vernon Golston too. At 6. That's an F pick. There's no way around that. That guy, 3 years in the league, was supposed to be this all-world edge rusher. Never got a sack. Barely had below 50 tackles as an edge. That's one of the worst picks the Jets ever made, and that's saying something. 2009, pick 5, Mark Sanchez. I would say just for the success that they had. I'm trying to think of how to phrase this because Sanchez wasn't horrible. I would say that's like a C or a B- pick. Had a couple good years. Obviously, it could be a little bit higher considering 2 AFC championship games his first 2 years. I really like, growing up. I love Mark Sanchez growing up. He was honestly the last probably good quarterback the Jets had to think about. When you really think about it. Then they have I'm just looking a little bit more research into this. I don't know why now it's being weird. Where did I want to go? Actually, I found 2000, so we could go backwards a little bit, Dom, if you're cool. This was honestly one of the top draft classes the Jets have ever had. 2000. Now that I finally got 2000 to load prior to everything else we said, I'll just reiterate those draft grades in a minute. But we'll go backwards. A little annoying. That took forever to load. But 2000 was Sean Ellis, John Abraham, Chad Pennington, and Anthony Beck.
Chad Pennington.
So Sean Ellis, I believe, played all of but 1 year with the Jets, was arguably the top player from that pick. Anthony Beck was an above average tight end. I give Ellis, I would say, was maybe a B+ pick. Abraham could have been an A+ pick if he didn't leave the Jets and if he didn't sit out that playoff game with his hand while Sean Ellis was playing. If he didn't play, or I forgot the injury he had, but he sat out a playoff game with an injury that he could have played through, and they probably win the game. Anthony Beck, probably like C level. I don't think he really did much with the Jets in 5 years. And then Chad Pennington, 8 years with the Jets. I would say that's a B plus, A minus pick. Probably in my opinion, the last true good quarterback they had that could have done something with them. If it wasn't for injuries, I think it'd be a lot higher of a pick. He was, he didn't have the strongest arm, but he had the mental tools to be a good quarterback. Like I said, if he didn't get hurt, if he didn't struggle with injuries, he could have been the guy. Not obviously not a guarantee fully, but he could have been one of. 2001, Santana Moss played 4 years with the Jets. I don't know. I feel like that's like a B or C level pick. He was okay in 4 years. Obviously had a bigger career with Washington, but the grading scale I'm using isn't like their career in general. It's their career with the Jets only. So like if you hear like guys that like became all-time greats or really good players, but all-time great players but weren't with the Jets. What are you two talking about?
I'm doing my schedule.
You're making your college
Yeah,
schedule.
I'm still finishing on my
That's
schedule.
funny.
I'm still finishing my schedule.
Like that's why like Abraham would have been an A if he stood with the Jets, but like I would say it's below that. 2002, Brian Thomas, career Jet. That gives him a little bit of brownie points, but I would say he was like a mid B's, like maybe B minus level guy. He played well. Not the best of all time, but
I can't lie, this schedule is actually not bad. This is my final schedule.
yeah.
I mean, including what's his face's Bard's class.
Yeah, that's a really good class. So then we're back to 03, Dwayne Robertson. I really don't know or remember a lot about him to even grade that pick. I know he was on the Jets D line for a little while though. Jonathan Vilma. This is a weird one because obviously he was a really good linebacker. He was a very good linebacker, but he only played 3 years with the Jets before getting traded to the Saints. He was with the Jets from 04, and they got traded to the Saints. He was drafted out of Miami, so Miami's going to produce good defensive players. Then we obviously jump back. Like I said, Ferguson was an A. Mangold was an A+. Revis was an A+. Vernon Golson was an F. Dustin Keller's about a C. Sanchez is about a B- to a C. Kyle Wilson, the corner, that's another F pick for a first-round pick. He was serviceable, but that's an F grade for the fact that he didn't last. He somehow lasted 6 years with the Jets and never became more than a CB5. I never remember hearing this guy do anything notable for them. That was 2010. 2011. At pick 30, defensive lineman Mo Wilkerson. That's a solid B. I don't know. You remember Wilkerson though?
Wilkerson? Yeah, I do somewhat.
He was about a B.
He was all right. He was good.
He was about a B.
Wasn't my favorite.
Quentin Coples
Remember
in
Quentin Coples?
2012 at pick 16. That's like a C- or D. That was one of the worst. That was a terrible pick. Same with D. Milner. D. Milner might as well be an F. He was drafted to replace Darrelle Revis and did the exact opposite to the point that the Jets went and paid Darrelle Revis $100 million to come back in 2015. 3 years after drafting D. Milner top 10 was arguably one of the worst. That's arguably another one of the worst draft picks the Jets have ever made. I mean, we'll see the worst draft pick the Jets ever made, in my honest opinion. Coming up in this draft list.
Oh,
We'll see who it is.
I think I might
You know who it is. For 2013, Sheldon Richardson at pick 13. That was a good pick. Played 10 years, technically still active as an NFL player, but he hasn't played in like 3 or 4 years. 4 years with the Jets. Was very good in those 4 years. Outside of the year, they decided to mess around with him and make him be an outside linebacker at almost 300 pounds. And then they traded him to Seattle. But I think, he got a raw deal with the Jets. He could have been a lot better than what he was. I'd say overall, as a Jet, it's a mid-round pick, B level. He was drafted around his rank, so B level pick. Calvin Pryor, my honest opinion on Calvin Pryor, the fact that you traded him to get DeMario Davis back, who obviously Davis isn't on this list because he wasn't a first round pick, but that was one of the best draft selections they made in the last few years. And the fact that they let him go twice and then brought him back twice sucks. But anyway, I have to say Calvin Pryor is probably an F pick too. That guy was one of the worst safeties I remember seeing on the Jets. He was just god awful for 3 years. Leonard Williams in 2015, I really like that pick. Obviously, if we're grading it overall, it's an A, but as a Jet, that's like a B or C level pick. He didn't have the best of years with the Jets. He was productive. Now, here's one of the 2 worst picks I remember. Darren Lee, 2016. Now, if you notice, the Jets are on a string of drafting defensive players. Oh, Darren Lee. First of all, he's on death row for murder.
Yeah.
So, first of all, screw that guy for that. But as a pure NFL player, probably one of the worst linebackers I've ever seen the Jets employ. That's an F.
A bad combo all around.
Yeah, that's
Pretty
an F
much.
pick.
Pretty much. I mean,
He was in 3 years, supposed to be the fact, again, in 3 years, he was with the Jets. They went and paid CJ Mosley to replace him when he was supposed to be the CJ Mosley of the Jets defense and be the guy. F. This pick, based off their Jets tenure, is an A, in my honest opinion. Jamal Adams only spent 3 years with the Jets, but because of Adam Gase ruining the relationship that was there with the Jets and being one of the worst head coaches ever, for 2 out of Jamal's 3 seasons, I don't even know, one of Jamal's seasons. For 1 year, you had Jamal Adams for 1 season as Adam Gase, and you managed to run the guy out of town in 1 year. First of all, he's arguably the worst head coach you've ever had. But honestly, if you're just looking at the 3-year production you got from Jamal Adams as a safety, that's an A pick. Sam Darnold, this pains me to say because I adore Sam Darnold. I adore him. But as a pure Jet, that's no more than a B- pick. He had the tools to be good. The Jets ruined him. But when you're just evaluating the production that's on the field, that's like a B- C pick. Because you can't really grade him as an A+ player. With the fact of he didn't do anything for the Jets because he was so ruined. Here's another A, I would say. Personally, I feel like this is an A+ pick. Now, this isn't updated yet because he technically did spend 5 years with the Jets. Quinnen Williams.
I agree with that. I thought
Quinnen Williams,
Quinnen Williams.
I think as a Jet was a B+ to an A- level pick. I think early in his career, Adam Gase, you drafted the best player available on the board, which at pick 3 isn't the worst thing. But I think McCagnon made the panic pick of that, and then McCagnon got fired right away. Adam Gase really struggled to find a way to utilize him for the first 2 years of his career. And then when Robert Saleh came in for 3.5 years, Quinnen became one of the top interior defensive linemen. Now, obviously, he fell off a little bit towards 2024 and this past season, 25. That was due to the instability of QB play and lack of getting off of the field. But I think if you put him in a system like Dallas, where the offense is putting up drives and points, he could get back to that all-pro level he was with the Jets at one point. So I'd say just as a pure Jet, A+. Another F, first-round pick, Mekhi Becton. Dude couldn't stay healthy. You reached at offensive line when you had Tristan Wirfs. On the board. I understand you wanted a left tackle, but Tristan Wirfs is playing left tackle in Tampa Bay. He's one of the best left tackles in football. You reach at Mekhi Becton. I think 4 years with the Jets. He played maybe 1 or 2 full seasons, if that. And 1 year he looked great his rookie year, and then he missed 2 full years due to knee injuries from his weight. And then just, the second year he played blocking for Aaron Rodgers, became the right tackle because we signed Tyrone Smith, and he was just not good his last year with the Jets. Oh God. I'm ready for this one. Probably the worst pick I've ever seen as a Jet fan in my life. Zach
I'm laughing
Wilson.
'cause
Zach
I know who
Wilson.
it is.
Zach Wilson. That's an. Can you give an F minus? Can you give an F minus?
I got a better one. Can you not even give a score?
You-
There's no score you can give to this.
That he
guy.
was, and it's not the fact he was just bad.
This is why I wish I can
It's-
curse on air because
Oh, I wish I could curse right now on air. 'Cause I
Zach
would've-
Wilson sucks.
Yeah, he sucks.
He's
Dude,
one of the
wait,
worst
hold on.
quarterbacks
I'm gonna make a point
in the
here.
sport.
I'm gonna make a point here. You drafted him number 2 overall. You know, he comes out of a.
This is 21.
He had
This
all-
was Trevor Lawrence's year,
Yeah.
right?
You know, you draft him number 1. Has a bad rookie year. Obviously, as a rookie, even though you're drafted number 2, you're coming into a shitty situation. Excuse my language. With the Jets, you look at the Jets situation.
Especially at this time point.
At this time, the Jets had no talent on the roster. So you're giving him Corey Davis and Keelan Cole as his top 2 wide receivers. I wasn't expecting him to succeed then with one of the worst offensive lines in the league. But then you continue to build around them and he just gets worse to the point that you got to go like beg Aaron Rodgers to want to play for your franchise and have that backfire on you and get stuck with a third year of him and it just get worse. It is mind-boggling is what I'm going to say. But then at 14, we drafted Elijah Vera Tucker. If we're going to go based off just pure play, I would say it's a B+ to A- pick as well, but because of his injuries, missing all of this season, had a very good season in front of Aaron Rodgers the year prior. Played every game, was one of the top guards. Missed all of this season. His rookie year played really well. I would say it's like a B- because of the injuries, missing a cumulative 3 full seasons due to injuries when you count the amount of games. Missing a full season. You got to look at it this way. He missed. I'm going to kill you, Dom. Your typing's throwing me off on what I want to say.
Is it actually? I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
I'm not even saying to mess with you. Like, I'm in the middle of a thought and like the typing distracts me.
You're just
Okay.
hearing that. Yeah, my
So
bad.
you look at we'll look at AVT. We'll analyze him for a second because this is one of my favorite picks the Jets have made. Rookie year was one of the top guards in the league. Played on the left side. His second season, you start messing around with him. You move him to right guard, which okay, fine, because I forgot who we had at left guard that year. Move him to right guard, fine. Then you start moving him to left tackle, right tackle. Gets hurt in Denver, and misses the rest of the season. Same game, Breece Hall gets hurt, and we'll talk about Breece in a minute. Then comes back healthy, gets hurt on the same tricep again. Bam, misses another half a season, so he's already missed a full season. Then comes back in front of Rodgers, misses games here and there, but plays for the most part of that season. I'm actually gonna look up how many games he's played. We're gonna look up really quick. We're talking about AVT, just how many games he's played, so we could really like rank this pick. Because this pick is like, this is a hard pick to rank because there's obviously the talent's there and he played well enough. So he played 16 games. He played 15 out of the 17 games in 2024 in front of Aaron Rodgers. Played 7 games in 2022 where he was playing tackle and guard, and then 2023 played 5 games before rupturing his other tricep. Yes, you heard that. He ruptured both triceps in back-to-back years and missed a full season, which is insane to think about. So I would say about a B- to a B because of the injury time. 2022 is tough because Sauce Gardner playing as a Jet, that's an A pick. He was arguably the best cornerback in the league as a Jet.
I miss
Up
him.
until
I'm not
this
gonna lie.
year.
I miss him.
Up until this season where we traded him, he was arguably top 3 corner in the league. Garrett Wilson, A+ pick. One of the best. Get him a real quarterback. He's going to be a top 10 wideout in the league. I think that's a slam dunk.
There's no. Yeah,
Jermaine Johnson's about a B+ to a B-.
He's there.
He was a good edge rusher. You didn't get like first round edge production that you were looking for him out of the big time sack getter that he was supposed to be. But you got enough production where it's not like an F pick. I would say it falls between a B+ to a C+ in that range. If I had to really pinpoint it, I put B-. 2023, Will McDonald.
Again, also he's fine. I mean, he's not.
Fine. I'm gonna just give it a C+. He's
I
there.
really-
Yeah, he had 10 sacks, but he had like a double-digit 10.5 sack season his second year. That came as a rotational piece on the D line, and then just all in the first half of the season. So,
I
and
really
then the
like
last
this.
2 years at pick 11, Olu Fashanu.
I really like Fashanu.
I'd say for now B+ pick. He's been good, but he hasn't been good enough to get into the A's yet for first rounder.
I like Fashanu a lot. I've always liked Fashanu.
Membo, I'm not gonna rank because he's only played 1 season in the league, and I want to wait. But if I
you were
do,
going to, what would you?
if I'm going to, I give him the same rank as Olu,
so
because
B,
a B+.
B plus.
But I really
Fair.
am not gonna stick to that rank because he only played 1 season.
You
I
want
want
to see
to
him
wait
pan
at
out.
least 1 more season.
You want to see how he
like,
pans out this season.
With Olu, you got a season and a half worth of game to see.
Yeah.
So you could tell he's like there, but he's not like a top tackle yet. Membo, you got 1 year. So that means you got more gameplay on him. So that's that. That's just, something I want to do is like looking at the Jets first rounds of the last few years because they picked number 2 overall. Now, if you guys want, we are just about at the halfway point of the show. This is something fun. So now we'll do a mock draft and just
So I got the mock draft right here.
we'll hit a quick ad break and then we'll go to a mock draft. Ready?
Yes.
This is WIUR Radio.
Hi, I'm Morgan Beastie from the Ionian, and I hope you're enjoying today's show. Are you looking for the latest scoop on campus news, sports, and more? Check out the Ionian University's very own award-winning student newspaper. We keep you up to date with everything happening on and off campus. Want to know about the big game, the latest campus event? It's all in the Ionian. Join the conversation. Read, write, and get involved. Visit www.theionian.org or pick up a copy around campus. Stay informed, stay connected. Now, back to WIUR, Iona University Radio.
That was a ad break plugging for Jake specifically, the Ionian.
Jake, you can do a quick
So-
promotion if you'd like.
I was gonna say you want to do your quick promotion for the Ionian now, and then we'll go into something else.
So should I just do like the segment about that now?
yeah, just do like a 2-minute segment. Just
So, as you guys heard, you guys just heard an ad for the Ionian, and this is a pretty special day to talk about it because not only is this the last issue of the semester, or at least the last physical issue, but
Wait, what do you mean?
because there could potentially be like some online exclusives depending, how things go.
Text me if that's the case.
I will. But all 3 of us have articles in it. So
Yeah, me more than anyone.
that's true. Dom has.
Dom's the
Great.
best writer we have.
Yeah, I wish someone can appreciate
I have
that.
to shamelessly plug it. Dom's the best writer we have.
Yeah, I wish someone could appreciate it. Jake.
I appreciate it. Okay, so the first. So you have your NXT article here.
Yeah,
if you
so
wanna
I'll
talk
just
about that
yeah,
for a
so I'll
second.
promote real quick for those who don't know, I'm a big WWE fan. NXT had before
We're
this issue
aware.
came out, everyone's aware. I'm wearing CM Punk. This is my guy. Got Cena on my phone, writing a WrestleMania retrospective. But anyways, to this, I did do an article on NXT Stand and Deliver, which is NXT's annual event and like
It's
flagship
NXT's
event.
WrestleMania.
It's NXT's
essentially.
WrestleMania, so I did a nice little
We'll get
review
into
on that.
later,
But
probably.
we'll get into WWE a little bit. Just talk about WrestleMania. Really not a lot to talk about. Maybe do a little plug-in on NXT. But back to the issue, Jake. What else do we have? What articles do we
Can I
have? at
plug
hand?
our issue, Jake?
What is that?
Jake and I did a collaborative article on The Hangover, which we're actually going to see tomorrow for like. Is it an anniversary or is it just being shown?
I think it's
It's
just being shown.
because the movie came out in 2009. So
This
not
is
like a-
26. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I actually wrote in here because I wasn't sure if they were releasing it tomorrow or not. Like I did the header of the article. I said tomorrow we're going to see The Hangover. It's
Which
true
is
today, but it did come out. I think technically yesterday. But it's a favorite comedy of Pete and I. In fact, I would go as far as to say it's a top 5 comedy for me. And I make a joke about this in the article. But I've literally said, I'm like, for my bachelor party, which both of you will be at, it's literally just going to be like, we'll go out to dinner somewhere and then we'll go back to like my house or somewhere for a screening of the movie. Because like you got to watch the Hangover in proximity to your wedding or bachelor party. I feel like,
Oh, yeah. Well, we could always recreate what?
yeah, right. Just don't leave me on the roof.
No, that was Dom's job. Or
I
Billy's.
believe I can
We just
fly.
put Billy on the roof.
Please,
Oh my God, he would look like a Swedish fish afterwards.
please.
And then another thing I was going to talk about is I also, because I saw it at the Alamo last weekend with my mom and stepdad.
Shout out Big Ron.
Shout
By
out
the way,
Big
shout out Big Ron,
Ron.
one of my favorite people on the planet.
Another Romano. And he loves this movie. So that's part of why I wanted to write about it. I decided to review The Big Lebowski. You know,
Such a great film.
the dude abides, man.
Dude abides, man.
And
Well, then that's just your opinion, then, man.
it's just your opinion. This aggression will not stand.
This aggression will not say. I love that movie so
You know,
much.
I'm the dude, El Duderino, if you're
El
not into the whole
Duderino.
brevity thing.
El Duderino.
It's just a great movie all around, like, you know, a solid comedy. You know, it's interesting. It has a very well woven plot, but as I mentioned in the article, it's really more of a character driven movie because you have obviously the dude, and you have my man Walter who steals the show for like
Love
basically every
Walter.
scene he's
Love
in.
Walter.
Am I the only one who cares about the rules around here? And then you're like, screw it, dude, let's go bowling. You know,
Yeah, screw it, dude. Let's go bowling.
I
Sounds
had
like
to-
something I would say.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Just an excellent movie all around. And then also, speaking of arts and entertainment, Dom also has 2 other articles if you want to briefly talk about those.
Yeah, so the first article that I did, I kind of just did it as like a backup article. So I did one of my favorite movies of all time, which actually, like, just saying it, it's the God honest truth. One of my favorite movies of all time is Hellboy from 2004, which if you have not seen it, if you're a comic book fan, you may have heard of it. If you're not a comic book fan, you haven't seen it, I highly recommend. Even if you are, I highly recommend it. It's just a phenomenal piece of film and is directed by, of course, Academy Award winner Guillermo del Toro. Has, you know, very generic but just fantastic story based off of the character Hellboy. Has arguably the best, in my opinion. I'll go as far and say it has the best casting for a comic book character in Ron Perlman as Hellboy.
He
I
was
mean,
really good.
he fits the character aesthetic 100%. But yeah, I definitely recommend those who haven't seen Hellboy, if you're a comic fan or not, definitely check it out. It's just a fantastic movie. And then the other article I did is the revival for the TV show Scrubs. Now, Scrubs is, some people say, is one of the best TV shows of the all time of 2000s. And
I
I
actually watch it with Ron every now and then.
and I love Scrubs, man. Scrubs is just a hilarious show. Like, again, if you haven't seen Scrubs, I highly recommend it. But I did a review on the revival that came out in February. And it is just as phenomenal and funny as the original. Of course, not counting Scrubs Med School. But it's just like, I highly recommend it. If you want to watch Hellboy, I know it's on Netflix. If you want to watch Scrubs, if you have a Disney Plus or Hulu bundle, because it's on ABC, you can watch Scrubs there. And you also watch the original Scrubs, which is just fantastic of a show, besides season 9.
You know who's underrated in that show? The janitor. I think he's
The janitor's hilarious in that show, which, mind you, the janitor has a funny cameo in the last episode of
Excellent.
of the Scrubs revival. But yeah, I honestly might go back and rewatch the Scrubs
I
revival.
want to. It's on my. I keep telling Dom I'm going to watch it. It is on my watch list for the summer.
Now, Jake, on a side note, if what you're telling me is true, that we might be seeing an article or issues happen online.
Potentially,
or-
I don't want to speak too soon.
If for Jake not speaking too soon, but if we do end up seeing these articles online, I already have the next idea for the article.
Yes.
I am on, and Colin, I know you're watching, and Manny, I know you're watching. I know you're gonna make a comment.
Yeah.
And I'm joking around here because it's actually not the this number time. I'm on my 15th millionth rewatch of Cobra Kai.
Great show.
One of my favorite shows of all time. I will be doing a review for Cobra Kai, Jake, for you.
Yeah, I mean, even if we don't get it in this semester, I always like to say, because I'm just someone. I mean, great
Well, you're
fan.
going to get articles
Yeah.
from me all summer.
That's
I'll tell you
fine.
that right
I mean,
now. You're getting Spider-Man.
I'm probably going to review
You're
that
getting
too. So that's going to get 2 reviews.
collab
We can collab on that. We can
We're
collab.
not doing 2 reviews. We're doing a collab. Oh, can we do
We could do a three-way.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can we do a triple threat collab?
I don't know if that's ever been done before. I mean, sports section, yes, but that's multiple issues. I don't really count that. We could try that actually.
Because I want to write my own article. So.
It would make
wanna do triple
less
threat
heavy
collab.
lifting for everyone. You know,
Exactly, triple
Or
threat
here's what
collab.
we could do: first person to get an article in based on the movie gets it published and puts the second closest as their published.
Well, I
year.
do have I don't want to pull rank here, but I am the editor of that section. So,
No, so Jake, you sit this one out. Me and Dom have a competition. I submit my article first.
well, I'm still gonna, at the very least,
That's what I said.
write a review of it.
Why not triple threat it? I mean, we're all gonna write the review
I think
on
that's
it.
like a little too much.
It's not really. It's just all.
Yeah, no, I think it is. I think 3 people on one article is a lot.
Well, how about this?
Well, you know what? We're bending rules. Well, our name is Jeff Hardy, Brother Nero, and give me 1 second.
No, I'm not even saying that. I think like just for the fact of writing an article for the three of us to collab in a doc is a lot. Of
I don't
work.
think so. Well, let's be honest here. Who's gonna be doing all the writing?
Me. Do you see when I write? I go to town and Dom, I will write the article the second I step out of the theater. That
Okay,
it'll
I
be
will
done
too.
before you type the word Spider-Man.
Okay.
Well, what I like to do, because obviously Pete's being a little hyperbolic, is
Dom, I'm going opening night and I'm gonna beat
Me
you to
too.
it.
I'm going opening night too.
I'm gonna beat you to it.
Dude, I'll write it in the theater.
I'll write it midway through the movie.
I'll
See, I
write it
don't-
while the movie begins.
I'm gonna write it
I'll
before I
write it
even
before I
watch
sit
it.
in the seat.
I'll write it when I'm at the
I'll-
concession stand.
I'll write it in the car on the way to the movie.
I'll write it in my house.
I'm gonna write it today.
Oh, I can't say what I was gonna say where I'll write it, but
I'll write it right now.
No, but in all
So
seriousness,
I can't say what I'll tell you after the fact.
I think I know where you're
what I
say
like
that
to
too.
do if there's a movie I really want to review, in all seriousness, like when I get out, I'll put like a couple notes on my phone. Like I did that when Pete and I saw Scream in the City. So it's well tentatively a three-way article, and if not, at least two from the three of us. We'll say that.
Okay.
Just to put a pin on that.
Okay.
Um,
Anyways, can we get to the? Oh, do you have any other stuff?
Well, I was just gonna say, in terms of since we're on the topic of movies, I'll just speed run all that right now.
Michael is out now, which I'm hearing mixed reviews on.
Yes.
Yeah, I heard the movie sucked.
I
As far
was
as I-
telling Dom this today. I was watching a reviewer on YouTube
Jake's
during
gonna go down.
lunch.
Dom's gonna
He's-
go down.
Bye, Dom.
I knew it.
Is it something I received too?
No. You can. You can. You can.
Yeah.
I just like stabbed the side of my leg with my keys. Ow.
So basically, what I want to say that I can't put on air, I just text
Oh my gosh.
Jake.
Yes.
Look what I sent you.
Oh, my sunglasses.
Oh, my sunglasses. Yeah, he can't say that on air, guys.
Yeah, I'm not saying that on air. That's.
But I'm
too
actually
far,
looking
but
forward to it. Though.
You guys are definitely. You guys can enjoy that. You
I'm
can-
very much anticipating it.
Gosh.
All right, Magnum PI. You want to get up?
I was thinking more like Tom Cruise.
Magnum
but
PI.
anyway.
I've gotten that compliment before, by the way.
Yeah,
True
I
story.
see it.
True
I see
story.
it.
No,
Anyway, can we
true
do the
story,
mock
true
draft
story.
now?
Wait, can we just
Can we
get
end
back
the
to
show
like?
with the mock draft
Can we
now?
can we
No.
finish with what we were
I
saying?
got my
So, what I was saying to Dom is I saw a reviewer at lunch. He said it was
I see. I
very well
stabbed
acted from
side
Jafar,
of my
Michael's
leg.
nephew, but it didn't exactly explore too many aspects of his
No,
life,
it was
so-
like music video on top of music video.
Pretty
what you were
much, yeah.
telling me, and that's what I saw. But I know my friend Rob, which again, shout out Rob. He's a big Michael fan. He thought the film was just fantastic.
Oh, he saw it already.
Yeah, because he saw it yesterday. I want to say was an early screening.
Oh, nice, nice.
Because he has like a because he lives in New Rock, so he goes to Regal New Rock like all the
Oh, they
time.
had an early screening yesterday.
So I guess like he had like that like exclusive type thing where he could probably see it early. But he
that's
said
cool.
he said it was fantastic. I might actually text him.
It seems
Yeah,
like
that's
like a fan movie because you do have some biopics that
Yeah.
are not as much made for the fans. Like I think you guys remember back in October, they had like the Bruce Springsteen biopic, which was more made for like a niche set of fans because like it was more so focusing on the Nebraska album from the early
I'm gonna go
'80s,
check
which is
it
not as commercially successful as
What?
Born in the
I'm gonna check my
USA.
car.
You
You're
know,
leaving?
No, I said I'm gonna go check out my car just real quick.
your car.
Tom, by the time you come back, we're gonna be done with the mock draft, and you're not getting a WWE segment in.
I could probably get in 5 minutes.
No, Dom, I'm talking about by the time you get here and back.
Well, are you in
close
Summit?
to done.
Yeah, I'm in something.
Dom, it's
All right, then.
3:11.
Oh, that's
We have to
true.
finish at
All right, we'll
3:30.
do this draft. Yeah, let's do
All
the
right.
draft.
And low
Jake,
key,
anything else?
I
let
highly
me
doubt
just-
we're getting the segment in regardless because we went on such a ramble with the movies.
All
longer than it
right,
was
two
supposed to
two
be.
more seconds. Also some
One, two.
Shut up. Trailers that came out that look pretty cool. We have the new Meet the Fockers movie,
Yes.
Focker and Law. That looks
Yes.
pretty funny. Super
My
Troopers
cousin
3.
worked on it and
Nice.
was in it.
Anthony?
Shout out Anthony.
Shout out
Oh,
Anthony.
crap.
Super Troopers 3. Practical Magic 2, which I have to say, the first one is an underrated witch movie. I used to like it with my sister when I was a little kid. And also Coyote vs. Acme and
Yes,
Clayface.
I saw the trailer for that. That looks really fun. Coyote versus Acme.
And Clayface. That looks pretty good. All right,
That's the horror. Yeah. No, they're doing the
I think
horror.
it looks decent, a little dark, but anyway.
All right, Dom,
You guys do your draft, and then if possible, before it ends, I wouldn't mind talking about baseball for like 2 minutes.
We can work baseball in there
All right. Anyway,
if we have time.
cook. I have a
I'll
whole
time
script.
myself. Right, I'll time myself. But let's do this draft.
I have a whole script
Yeah.
for it, so you got to let me fulfill that script.
All right. So
Yeah.
do you want me to do my mock draft first, really quickly? I'm only going to do just the first 10 picks.
No, I was
From
going to do
here.
the whole thing because I have 32 picks here. We're gonna compare it, Dom. We're gonna
Alright,
read
fine.
pick by pick and compare it.
Fine.
Can I see your screen?
No.
Yes.
No.
I need to for the
Well,
segment.
too bad. No. You can't.
I need to for
Well,
the
you
segment.
can't. I'm just gonna surprise you. So
McDonald's.com.
McDonald's.com. Yeah.
So then the segment doesn't work
What's the okay? Fine. Here,
because we're
Jesus.
reading both picks.
All right. Who's the first pick? Because the Raiders the first pick.
I think we both know what the first pick's gonna be.
Mendoza.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. There's no.
I mean, I was talking with my dad before. I'm like, the only way we don't get Mendoza, number one, if they decide to go off the board and take Reese. Now let's see.
Yeah.
Now I want to see what they have with the Jets here.
Jets. They
Alright,
put
so-
Bailey. Yeah.
Jets here we have Reese, and I'm hoping the pick is Arvell Reese.
I wouldn't mind Bailey. Bailey's not
Um,
bad, but I think Reese
Bailey's.
is better.
I think Reese is just a better all-around player.
That's yeah. Then
Three.
Reese is for the Cardinals.
Here at 3 we have a reverse.
Yeah.
Here at 3 we have Bailey. So
Okay.
I
Four,
genuinely think this is how it's going to go. I think whoever the Jets don't take is
the
who
Cardinals
Arizona
are going to
takes.
take. I think
Because
so.
I think both players are can't miss. I think Arizona's pick is reliant on the Jets unless they really want Love.
Wow. Okay.
Unless they really, really want
Jeremiah
Love.
Yeah.
Which I have a surprise team. I really haven't seen thinking about taking him here. Who's going 4 to Tennessee?
For me,
on
I
yours?
have Tate.
Here we have Styles.
Okay.
Sonny Styles.
Now for 5, I have Styles.
For 5, we have Downs to the Giants.
See, I'm fine if
That's what
Sonny.
you want.
That's what I want.
You
I
want
think
Downs or
is-
Sonny Styles
I
from
think
the
that-
Giants.
Styles I wouldn't mind because I like Sonny Styles. I think he's
I
a
know
great
you. We've been talking about
linebacker.
this a while. So
But
I agree
Downs
with your
is
pick.
Downs is like the
So I'll
perfect
read
to a
6
T.
here first. 6, we got Carnell Tate.
To the Browns?
Yeah, well, they need wide receivers. They have none.
True, but like it's the Browns.
But they don't have wide receivers.
Doesn't matter. The Browns suck.
Yeah, exactly. They don't have a wide receiver. Get a wide receiver for sure.
And here it's Delane, the cornerback from LSU.
Delane, we have a little bit lower here actually.
Really?
Yeah. I understand that.
For Washington,
Washington, this is where we have Love going here.
I wouldn't mind that, but
I
then
honestly think they're gonna take him if he's there.
I wouldn't mind that.
Who they got there?
Bain.
Really, Ruben Bain.
Be
We got
interesting.
Ruben Bain at 8 to New Orleans.
Lemons at 8 to New Orleans. for
I don't
me.
think they take a wide out there. I think I'd rather.
I think they should.
I think this is I think this is the more likely outcome than that one.
True.
And I'll say that for every pick. Like I think obviously it'll go back a little bit. Mendoza's likely outcome. Jets is a
Email that
toss
to
up.
me, by the way?
Yeah, when I'm done.
Yeah, no, of course.
Chiefs taking the tight end Sadiq. I think that's very.
We have
Likely.
Malgoa. The Chiefs have. I got Malgoa.
They
the
have him
defensive
actually
tackle.
going one pick left after that to the Giants, so we'll jump right to
Really?
pick 10.
The
yeah.
Giant for me. The Giants
Giants
here
take-
have Tyson.
Now you said
I
Matador
think-
Delane, right? You said Delane.
yeah, I
was
said
going high.
Delane. Delane. Yeah,
He's
Delane
going
is
down here to the Dolphins.
me.
They're trying to get out of 6.
Are they
Really?
actually?
They're rumored to trade down. Cowboys have only get 6.
Imagine they trade it for Pickens. 'Cause I've been
They're
seeing
trying to do.
I've been seeing a lot of-
6 for 12 and a bunch of others to try and draft
Really?
Styles, who's falling a little bit.
I was gonna say I've seen
There's your news. Now go back.
thank you, Robbie. I've
Thank you,
also
Robbie.
seen, speaking of the Browns, really quick. The Browns. I've seen a
Thank
lot
you,
of
Browns.
smoke around Pickens getting traded. Just
Yeah,
so
because I saw that
let's
some stuff
speed run
yesterday.
this because I know Dom wants to get WWE in if we could. So I'm trying to speed run through this.
I have Tyson at 10,
pick
which that's
11.
what I think.
So Tyson at 10, that's fair. Pick 11 here is Delane to the Dolphins. Honestly,
11 here is Downs.
I could see that
Mine 11's Downs.
because Downs fell here. Downs went a lot higher here. Think
For
about it. Downs
12?
went to the Giants in ours.
For 12, who do you at?
For 12, we have who's it? McCoy,
McCoy,
the
okay.
cornerback, going to Dallas.
We have Fano, Spencer Fano.
Rams taking Mekhi Lemon at 13.
Rams taking Freeling at 13 for me.
How do I pronounce this guy's name? At 14, the Ravens take the offensive guard from Penn State.
Yeah.
Pronounce his name.
Just say Ione.
Yeah, you got that. You can say
Ione.
that one. That's definitely not how you pronounce it, but that's
Probably
how
not.
Dom's gonna say it.
San
pick
Francisco.
15.
San Francisco is Lomu for me.
Where's San Francisco picking?
14.
No, the Ravens are 14.
So this thing get. Oh yeah, they are because I forgot they swapped the pick. Yeah, so Ravens, I have Lomu.
He goes
15 for me says Love, and I'm not gonna lie. I think Love to the Bucks would actually not be bad.
love to the Buck. We have Jordan Tyson.
I wouldn't mind that
Honestly,
either.
I think they're gonna take Tyson because I think this is the last year you have Chris Godwin as a Buck.
Yeah,
I think
and
2027
Evans is gone.
Evans is gone. This is the last year you have Godwin. I think 2027 is the full transition. I think Evans. I think Godwin's gone. I think 2027 for the Bucs is the full transition to. I guess here it would be Tyson as the number 2. It's like the full transition out of one era of Bucs receivers to another. Hopefully,
At 16 with the Jets pick, I have is the offensive guard.
no, they're not going offensive line at 16. There's no shot. They're gonna go wide receiver. They're gonna go if Tyson. Here's what's gonna happen with the Jets, and I'm saying this is a prediction. What happens with the Jets is we have Omar Cooper as the pick, Amari Cooper's younger brother.
Yes.
That I think that will be the pick if both Lemon and Tate are off the board at 16.
Which they
I
probably
think they're
will
going to
be.
go BPA wide receiver. My gut is going to say it's going to be Cooper because the other 2 are going to be gone. But if all 3 of them are on the board, I feel like there's going to be Mekhi Lemon for them. I think they're really high on Lemon over everyone else.
Safety from Oregon, Thieneman at
Thieneman,
I
I think
the Lions.
He's actually going 18 to the Vikings here. The
Vikings.
Lions,
The Vikings on
you
here.
got to
has
remember too.
McCoy.
You got to remember too. The Lions lost Decker, so they might take
did.
a lineman, and no lineman's gone. Only a guard's gone. All the tackles are still there. They're gonna take. It says they got Caden Proctor. We got Caden Proctor, the offensive.
Now
tackles.
McCoy, I have at 18 in here, and then Cooper, I have
Who would you
for the
at
Panthers
19?
at 19.
They have Freeling at 19. We
Okay.
have one here. At 20, we have Dallas again.
Yes.
Taking the defensive end Falk.
Here has Messidor,
Messidor is good, but Messidor went a lot higher.
and then Falk is 21.
But
to the
Messidor goes a lot
Steelers.
lower here.
Falk is-
21. This is where I think we're gonna get the first QB taken. I honestly agree here.
Do you think
It's
Ty?
gonna be Simpson.
Okay.
We're gonna get the second QB. Sorry, but
I want to let you know right now, the only QB that was drafted on
And
here
that
was
one is-
just Mendoza.
yeah, a lot of drafts have him falling, but I think the Steelers needing a QB are gonna reach and take someone at 21. It's gonna be Simpson. I think he's the second best.
Now, would you think on a random side note, would you think the former Georgia quarterback would go? I think he's the Alabama quarterback.
I don't know. I don't know.
Beck, Carson Beck.
He might go somewhere. He's Miami now. He'll go.
Yeah, Miami. That's where it is. 22 to
At OT at 22, they have the offensive tackle / guard Lomu.
here is Concepcion.
Yeah.
That's his name. The wide receiver from Texas. 20
I know who he is.
23 has Proctor.
Dom's mangling these names left and right.
I am.
Proctor
23
went
has
a lot
Proctor.
higher. So 23, we have the Eagles taking Boston.
Okay.
Denzel, whatever his name is.
The wide receiver.
Yeah. I think again he's in play for the Jets as well. I think they have a big board of every wide receiver, and they're just going to see how the board plays out. The one pick I'd be very disappointed in is if it's Ty Simpson.
24 has Blake Miller, the offensive tackle. from
24
Clemson.
has actually same tackle, but Spencer Fano.
Really?
you
You
said-
dropped down.
You
Wow.
said Hakeem Mesidor, right?
Mesidor,
They have the
yeah.
Bears hit. We have him falling 25 to the Bears.
Peter Woods, the defensive tackle in Clemson, and goes to the Bears.
Yeah, I don't even have Peter Woods as a first round pick. I think he's gonna fall out of the first round.
26th is the linebacker CJ Allen from Georgia.
We got not CJ. We have 26. We have Bill taking Young, the edge rusher.
Okay.
And then we have Mason Thomas at 27 to edge rusher.
Thomas is not on here,
Yeah.
but San Francisco's taking the cornerback from South
we
Carolina.
have our Mason Thomas. And then Texans 27 OT Miller.
Texans taking Sadiq.
Yeah,
Yeah, he fell that low.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's gonna go high.
And then KC's taking
I like
Boston.
this one. Terrell to the Chiefs.
Okay.
Bolster up their corner room.
The Chiefs taking Boston here, 30.
German wide receiver to the Dolphins at 30.
Cornerback
The
Pond.
Pace going Howell, the edge, and Seattle goes Johnson, the corner.
Pats
End of the
goes
draft.
Pats go Zion Young, and then Colton Hood goes
We
to the
have-
Seahawks.
We have 4 minutes. We have just an outlook on the 2 Jets picks, just to give a little idea. So obviously Arvell Reese, he's 6'4", 240, all around high ceiling. Then
He's a big guy.
higher ceiling than Bailey. Bailey's probably the more polished pick right now. But if you want someone that you could develop over time, if you know you have more than 1 year at the job, which Glenn probably might get 1 more year after this, it's Reese. Reese could be a potential Micah Parsons game-wrecking talent, the way he's able to play all over the field. And then for the second pick, obviously it's Omar Cooper, 6'1", 200. I mean, the Jets, I could see the Jets trading back, but I think we're going to Omar Cooper, 6'1", he's 6'1", 200 pounds. Fits the bill of a solid wide receiver, too. There's not much to really look at. Big yard machine. So, I mean, there's not much to say on these guys, you know.
There's
I guess
not.
we'll wait and see. So, Dom,
All right, I'll
wanna
do
get
2
your
minutes. Yeah, I'll
3
do
minutes of
I'll probably
WrestleMania?
get 2 minutes in. Yeah, so WrestleMania happened this Saturday, Sunday. Pete watched. I watched some of it, but I didn't watch all of it. WrestleMania this year, night one was horrible. I want to curse on air, but I told Pete I wasn't going to yell or I wasn't going to get angry, but I am going to get angry. Now, WrestleMania sucked. WrestleMania night one sucked. There were two good, there were a couple good things from night one. Sure, we finally got to see Randy hit a punt kick. Awesome. Seth and Gunther, match of the night easily. I said it to Joe, who's the show before us, and I also said it to Pete and to Billy. Shout out Billy, and even to Cam and to Rob. Shout out Cam. That match is a modern day Kurt Angle versus Shawn Michaels. Just a fantastic in ring work. We knew Braun was coming back. Gunther won. Match of the night easily. Second to that is Jacob and Drew. Jacob and Drew just did a fantastic job in the unsanctioned match. Just also an awesome match. And then Paige coming back, it was awesome. The tag team match was good. It wasn't anything too special,
I'll
but
give the letter grade because I actually have a letter grade, being that I watched the full
I
show.
won't even give the letter. I'm just going to give the
I'll
number
give the letter
from-
grade when you're done talking about night one and then
Yeah.
night two. So,
So-
you're ready.
So night one in my book, I'm giving that a 4.5 out of 10.
I was honestly about to say a 4 out of 10. I think what saves it from being below a 4 is honestly just for me.
For me, it was those points I just put. Oh, and also Bianca announcing her pregnancy.
Okay, so I felt no offense to Bianca.
Congrats to her.
No offense. Congrats to her. No offense. I don't think you needed to have a Mania appearance for that. I think you could have just did that on Raw or whatever. I understand why they did it though, because it is WrestleMania, and she is going to probably be out for like another year or two, probably. But I say it's a 4 out of 10. I think what saves it from being like a 1 or a 2 out of 10 for the first night is Paige is coming back. You know, Paige, everyone knew Paige coming back, but I think like seeing it kind of bumps it up a little bit.
Of course.
You know, 8 years. It's about 8 years. And then I like the Seth Gunther match. Wasn't a big fan of the Randy match. I felt like because of Pat McAfee, it loses a lot of points.
I mean that.
And then I'll review night 2 because night 2 is my favorite.
I was gonna say night 2.
Night 2, we had a lot better matches. We had Liv. I was just to go out of
No,
order.
Liv was in night 2. Liv was night 1.
Oh no, Liv was night 2.
No, Liv was night. No, Liv was night 1.
Okay, so that was night 2. You had Rhea.
Fantastic match.
Arguably
Arguably
one of the best matches. of the
Arguably
night.
Jade's best wrestling match in WWE, and probably one of her best wrestling matches. Go ahead.
Jade. Greatest match. One of the greatest matches.
2 minutes.
2 minutes. One of the greatest matches.
Speed run through it.
Okay, just really want to just say one thing. One of the greatest matches I've ever seen in WrestleMania of all the manias I watched. CM Punk versus the OTC Roman Reigns.
That's all I have to
in
say.
a 30-minute, almost Iron Man type of 30-minute Iron Man match.
That's all I just have to applaud it because that match was phenomenal. Night 2, I mean, Oba Brock, phenomenal. Ladder match, phenomenal. US match, phenomenal. What was the other match they had? Demon coming back in the street fight, phenomenal.
Oba Brock is a 10 out of 10 for me because I think the last point we're going to make on wrestling, the plan I saw everywhere on social media from what I see from wrestling was you were supposed to have Brock Lesnar retire to Gunther at SummerSlam.
Apparently, they
and
still want to do it.
He said,
I don't think they should.
He said, F that. I'm going out on my own terms.
Of course.
And
It's Brock Lesnar.
I think the only people that knew he was retiring were Triple H.
And Paul Heyman.
I don't think Paul Heyman knew.
Oh,
I
yeah.
I think it was him, Triple H, and whoever booked the match, whoever produced the match. Now, people are saying Paul Heyman produced the match. I think Paul Heyman was in the dark, though, producing the match that he was going to retire. And I think the plan was always going to be to make Oba this big new threat, the squash Brock.
Yes.
So,
overall, I think WrestleMania gets a 7.5.
Yeah. So with that being said, thank you for watching this special RadioThon episode.
Let's just say Jake want to talk about
Just
Yankees.
30 seconds. This is part of why I came. Yankees, we won the series against Boston.
Of course,
see if we get the sweep. See if we get the sweep tonight. Got a shutout Tuesday night. Was the MVP last four. I want to talk. Stanton
people are
2 for
waiting,
4
so-
Tuesday night. A homer, 3 ribbies. Judge is kind of having his thing where he starts out with a home run and then
Jake,
we'll
hurry
go-
up.
and let's go.
Shut up, Jake. We'll see you guys next
Next
Thursday,
week,
which is our
2:30.
last show.
Yeah, next week 2:30.
Catch the rest of RadioThon.